Hello and welcome to the intro to my channel, I guess. I guess the whole purpose of these videos is to document the process of the engine conversion I'm going to do on my Corolla. So I'm not a mechanic. I have pretty much no knowledge when it comes to cars and mechanics and stuff like that. A little bit of minor stuff, but I'm going to give this a go. And the plan is to swap a 4AG 20 valve into my AE82 Corolla. And that probably sounds pretty easy. People thinking, oh, AE82s already have 4AGs in them. Just going from a 16 valve to a 20 valve can't be that hard, can it? Well, my problem is my AE82 is that white one. And that's a bog stock Australian CS Corolla that actually came with a carbureted 4AC motor in it. And that's no fun, is it? People are probably wondering why waste so much time on a 4AC and a non-twin cam Corolla. And that's because this one's only had 50,000 kilometers on it since brand new in 1986. So it's pretty mint. Some people are probably wondering why you're bastardizing a car with an original car with like no Ks on it. Well, because it's my car, and yeah, I want to have fun in it. I want to drive it hard, and I want it to go somewhat fast. So that's the plan. The plan is to pull all the EFI gear out of this red donor car here next to me, and put it all into the white one. It's a bit of a big project for me, having no real experience, but I'm gonna give it a go. I'm a fairly smart bloke, so should be able to figure it out. I've already done a bit of work on this red car, so let's run through that now. So this red car, so this was originally a Series 1 twin cam, AE82 Corolla. I picked this up not long after I originally bought that one a couple years ago. Just posted on a Facebook group here in Adelaide, saying I had possible intentions of swapping that, and really lucky for me, I was offered to buy this one. It was $2.5 grand, which is probably a bit steep for a car that had no rego and no history, but I'm pretty happy with it just for the motor. The prices of 4AGs has gone nuts in the last couple of years, so I didn't really realize what I had when I bought it. So this was originally a 16 valve, and someone had converted it to a 20 valve sometime in the past. The reason I never really thought about restoring this car is just it's pretty rooted with the rust. There's rust in the guards. You can see there was rust in the door. It looks worse because I've ripped up the molds off of it. See a bunch of rust in typical AE82 spots. When I first put it up on the hoist, it's so bad in the seals that it like completely crushed the seals when it went up. But anyway, it's a parts car, so we don't care about that. I've already done a bit to it, so I've already gutted all the interior. So my main idea is I want to put the interior from this car into the white car as well. So can't really see it because it's all boxed up, but it had the fairly sought after Series 1 AE82 tartan interior. The seats are super dirty. You can see a little bit there. So I'm gonna try and clean them up eventually, or I might just get them reupholstered. One of the driver's seat has a massive tear in the side bolster anyway, so it has to get done. So a little bit of engine work so far. Not really engine work. I should have probably recorded it. I'll probably chuck a clip in, but the other day I finally started to get stuck into this car a bit, and the first thing I wanted to do before pulling it out of this car is see if it would just run on trumpets. because who gets a 20 valve and doesn't run it on trumpets? Some may know that silver tops like this one normally have a mass airflow sensor, and so you normally can't run trumpets with a mass airflow sensor. This one, luckily, whoever owned it before me, they have already converted it to an aftermarket ECU. So it had a mega squirt in it, and so they deleted the MAF and they were just running a vacuum map line into the ECU. So luckily there was really nothing to stop it running trumpets. When I bought it, it still had the stock airbox on it and everything. So I pulled the airbox on it and just bolted up trumpets to it and turned the key, and it worked. So it's going to make my life a lot easier when it comes to buttoning it up in the new car. So now it's pretty much getting ready to pull this engine out. I started just doing little bits of the car, so I've stripped the whole front end off of it, pulled the radiator out, pulled the exhaust off, and now I'm really probably just going to start pulling lines off, disconnecting plugs, and just marking them so I know what I'm doing, because as I said, don't really know what the fuck I'm doing. So when I get back to putting this together, I'm going to re-watch this video and hopefully remember which plugs went where, and yeah, so I might condense the footage for you guys, but for me, I'm going to probably keep it all long and just save it so I can refer back to it when I need it. So that's this car. While I'm talking about cars, I might as well quickly touch on the one that everything is going into. So I've owned this car for a couple years now. As I said before, 50,000 Ks, 45 when I bought it. It's dusty as because it's been sitting in here for about 6 months now. But yeah, I think it's in great condition. Little things I've done to it so far. Bought these wheels. There's some Bridgestone like 80s aero wheel that I just found locally, and I thought they were sick, so I picked them up. And I've lowered it on BC coilovers at the moment, so it's got BCs all round. They're barely driven on, like probably 2,000 Ks. And I've just put sway bars from the twin cam into this one. So it's got twin cam front sway bar. Normally these don't come with a front sway bar. So front sway bars in it. Done the BCs all round. Had to swap out the front hubs for twin cam hubs as well. So twin cam hubs. And I'll show the interior real quick. So it's pretty nice. This is the original trim in this car. I don't mind it, but if I can get the tartan interior in pretty good condition, I'm gonna swap it with the tartan. I've already swapped the lovely twin cam steering wheel into this car. It's not in too bad condition, but I might get it redone one day. But yeah, analog radio, clock in the dash, or clock in the cluster. So I need to swap the cluster from the other one as well. I've already swapped the lovely twin cam digital clock in. Crazy that this car just so old didn't even come with a digital clock. But yeah, that's the 82, or the good one. Yeah, some people really won't understand why I'm doing this, but I think it's a rad little car. My first ever car when I was on my L's was one of these as a sedan, and so when I saw this, yeah, initially this car was meant to just be a cheap daily runaround, because I bought this van and converted it into a camper, and it's really thirsty on the diesel, so I needed something to just run around in. So I bought this one, and then within 6 months of owning this, I was like, actually I really like this car and I want it to stay nice, and so I ended up having to get a daily for the daily. And I'll show that in another video, because that's another 4AG Corolla. Not in as nice condition, but it's still a pretty cool car. But yeah, I'm stoked on this car, and I can't wait to have it at 8,000 RPM with a silver top in it. I think it's gonna be rad. That car is just another car. It's my dad's project. Probably talk about that one day, but for now, let's just start labeling some wires and unplugging stuff and getting this thing ready to pull out.